I'm talking about the Uttarakhand chopper crash that happened on Sunday. After the Ahmedabad Air India crash that had happened, the chopper crash that led to the loss of life of 7 people in Uttarakhand, what a heartbreaking moment. It was a young captain, Captain Chauhan, an army veteran who was flying the chopper. So clearly an experienced pilot, remember. What went wrong will be investigated. That's an heartbroken family there. And what makes it more difficult was that these were young parents as well. Captain Chauhan and the family were recently blessed with twins, and it was a moment clearly of happiness, of celebration. I want to bring in my colleague for the latest on this, Devankar Vidhavan from Rajasthan. It's a wave of grief that's engulfed Lieutenant Colonel Rajvir Singh Chauhan, who died in this helicopter crash. Tell us more about the location here. A couple from the armed forces, a heartbreaking moment, but eventually the Fauji wife also trying to keep her stoic and calm. And I can only imagine how difficult this must be for the young parents. Go ahead, Devankar, tell us more about the family, about the captain of the pilot.
Well, Pooja, extremely heartfelt moments being seen in Jaipur. Not the captain, but in fact, Lieutenant Colonel Rajvir Singh Chauhan. He retired from army, and thereafter he joined this private service, and he was operating the helicopter in Kedarnath during inclement weather conditions. And as per information, he had decided to return to the base, but he could not because of the inclement weather conditions. Prima facie, the helicopter crashed, and as many as 7 people died in that crash. Lieutenant Colonel Rajvir Singh Chauhan is survived by his wife, his twins, who were recently born. So clearly, extremely heartfelt moments being seen in Jaipur. This comes in the wake of, in the aftermath of the Ahmedabad aircraft crash, and this also is so tragic for the family of Rajvir Singh Chauhan. His wife was seen in army fatigues while the last procession was carried out in the honor of Lieutenant Colonel Rajvir Singh Chauhan, who retired from the Indian Air Force and thereafter joined the helicopter service. So clearly heartfelt, heartrending moments seen in Jaipur. Rajvir Singh Chauhan and his wife were recently blessed by twins, and the entire family is in the midst of this sorrowful moments which happened because of the crash that happened, the unfortunate crash that took place in Kedarnath. What were the exact reasons behind that Kedarnath helicopter crash are yet unknown, but the information that has filtered in so far, Pooja, clearly conveys that there was inclement weather conditions, and Rajvir Singh Chauhan had conveyed that he will be returning to the base, but he could not manage to return safely to the base, and because of the crash, 7 lives were lost. Pooja?
Stay on with me. Remember that there have been multiple crashes that have happened, especially with regard to this route. It needs to be investigated further, what's happening, and this time we're looking at a young family. In fact, from what our research suggests, Lieutenant Colonel Chauhan, who was the captain of this chopper, was due to return home because they wanted to celebrate the birth of their twin sons who were born recently. And instead, his mortal remains have returned home. What a heartbreaking tragedy. 7 people had lost their life in this chopper crash. The young wife also from the Indian Army and from Rajasthan, as these visuals continue to come in. It's a promising life cut short. It's a family shattered. And I can only think of the little children as much as the wife as well, to be not able to know more about the father, the husband, and the aging father who broke that news to rest of the family. And this is why perhaps as we mourn the tragedy collectively, we also need to find out what's happening, whether it's the Ahmedabad crash, whether it's the Uttarakhand crash, that even when there are these experienced pilots, someone who served in the armed forces for so long and had recently retired, had joined the RN Aviation Private Limited as a civilian helicopter pilot, he then also then this happens. So what is it about the chopper, the weather or the route? What are you hearing currently about, are we expecting possibly leaders, any representative from the government also to come there? Have they contacted the family? Dave?
General Sharma, the current Chief Minister of Rajasthan, has expressed his grief to the family of Rajvir Singh Chauhan. In fact, several leaders from both sides of the political spectrum had expressed their sorrow and their grief at this insurmountable loss that the family of Rajvir Singh Chauhan has suffered. He hails from Dausa, from Bassi region of Rajasthan, but he had been living in Jaipur for quite some time. But this entire tragedy, clearly, as you pointed out, raises some pertinent questions, and most relevant out of them is the safety of the aircrafts in the aviation sector, and whether actually safety protocols are being followed and adhered to or not. And this is one of them. The lives of whether it be the pilots or the passengers should not be endangered, and if there are certain lacunae that need to be filled, that should be done at the earliest possible. And this clearly is another tragedy which points out at the fact that perhaps there are several aspects of the aviation industry which have been overlooked or neglected, and which clearly needs to be reflected upon. And perhaps if there has been any neglect or any criminal negligence, that clearly needs to be pinned down, and those responsible for it should also be punished.
Dave, that's very important, because this is the Gaurikund to Kedarnath pilgrimage, where recently, about a few years ago, this chopper service had started. It's not an isolated rare case. There have been emergency landing, there have been fatal issues as well. And this time, remember, this sector clearly witnessing the incidents of something that is wrong, whether it's the weather, whether it's the aircraft in itself or something else. There has to be an investigation to find out. We cannot keep losing our pilots in this manner, especially on a route which is barely about 10 minutes of a ride. So whether it's wind or any other issue, I would not want to speculate at this juncture, but you're looking at a family destroyed, a young, beautiful family, recently celebrating the birth of their children. And he was due to return home to celebrate it. And then this happens. Remember the heartbreaking moment, despite the kind of training, the stoic, the calm that a Fauji wife comes with, herself, of course, serving in the armed forces, and then to be able to have the mortal remains of your husband. Our prayers with the family, with the Chauhan family. Remember, all of us will move on in our life. It's this family that will have to live with the loss of Lieutenant Colonel Rajvir Singh Chauhan. I hope she finds the strength to be able to move on. An investigation into what happened.